Welcome to Terror in Tandem, a podcast about finding entertainment in the macabre, hosted by the knowledgeable and lovable Laura and Richard Mathiasen. Each episode, while we're still able to freely communicate anything on the Spotifys of the world, we discuss the horror genre, from books to film to TV and beyond. Sometimes even from the beyond. You can find us on YouTube at Terror in Tandem, on Instagram at Terror in Tandem, and you'll always find us on our own personal website, curated by the finest minds of technical creativity, terrorintandem.com.
Welcome to Coping in Tandem,
Welcome
where
to
we're
Terror,
both doing really well.
Terror. Just terror.
Everyone
Just
feels
welcome
great.
To terror.
Everyone's happy and normal and calm.
Now is the time for creative voices to continue to spread things about terror.
Now is the time to refill your prescriptions, everyone. Well, welcome. Welcome to the definite...
The monthlies.
Yeah, the month where it's cold and dark and short.
It
like me.
depends on where you live. You know, if you live
In the southern hemisphere? Yeah. I don't mean to...
pretty warm.
Yeah.
And we do have fans all across the world.
G'day.
So it might not be that cold where you are. And if it isn't, good for you.
But it is here in Tandem headquarters. It's cold and slushy and frozen and
We're getting
gross.
lots of snow this week.
So much snow.
So,
Which I kind of like.
yeah, download and listen for those snowy, coldy days.
But today we're going to be giving you things to look forward to in this, the darkest of months.
And shortest. And Black Historyist of all months.
Of all the months, it is the most historically black.
And congratulations to Beyonce for finally and way deserving of ages ago winning Album of the Year Grammy.
Do you think when Taylor Swift was handing her the Grammy, they both just checked their peripherals to make sure Kanye wasn't storming the stage? Or had Kanye by that point already been escorted away by security?
I think he had, I don't know what happened.
No,
because
he
on the red carpet,
wasn't. I'm pretty sure he crashed it with his naked girlfriend.
Yeah, and I think that was part of it. I think it was like, what is this?
I mean, do you remember when he was putting out songs like Black Nazi? Black Skinhead, Black Skinhead. I miss Kanye. What happened? This is the age of disappointing, people being disappointing. Snoop, looking at you.
Yeah. How dare you even bring his name up?
Neil Gaiman, my God,
yeah.
You monster.
Can everybody just keep their hands in their pockets?
You know who is old, still great, and not creepy? Stephen King.
Yeah, who we love and adore.
Love you so much, Stephen King.
Stephen King, I swear to all that is living and
take your vitamins.
Cthulhu's. No. When you pass away, you better have burned any sort of
terrible incriminating evidence.
No,
yeah,
just secret box of stuff.
Whatever weird, not king shaming you, Mr. King, but just make sure that Tabitha and the boys have that shit locked up. We're looking at some real
clear.
Let me just put it this clear. Looking at some real John Rothstein shit here, okay? I don't want anybody finding a fucking trunk full of your weird stuff.
The only thing I want to find a trunk full of is your weird unpublished manuscripts.
Yeah, The Runner Goes West. Gotta see how Jimmy Gold. I just started reading End of Watch, which is the third in the Bill Hodges trilogy. Yes, so I'm all about. I just finished the saga of Jimmy Gold and all that shit.
Yeah, it's great. I like how it's
fucking great.
Writer within a writer. It's very meta.
I'm extremely in tune with why Stephen King has become so enamored with Holly Gibney. It's impossible not to. She is one of the best characters he's ever written.
Yeah.
Really cool.
And I appreciate the fact that he's carried her through so many books. He doesn't do that with any characters to this extent.
No,
sure.
He's really great at doing throwaway callbacks to characters. Like George Bannerman will get mentioned every once in a while, but he died in Cujo.
But even if there's
Holly
kind
Gibney
of a passing mention or...
It's just really cool.
Yes, I really like the...
And really, who's carrying who?
Gibney-averse.
Do you think Holly's carrying Stephen King at this point?
I mean, we'll see with his newest one coming out in the spring.
Well, when there was only one set of footprints, that's when Holly carried Stephen.
She's capable of it. So this is not about Stephen King, and this isn't about the Grammys.
Welcome to
this
Digressions in Tandem.
February recommendations.
This is about adult
the
ADHD.
Month of love, and you can love horror films.
Oh, right.
And horrors, but also horror films.
The Feast of Saint Valentine.
Or books, or TV shows. I will get into all three.
The trinity of entertainment.
Yeah, absolutely.
All three. Mm-hmm. So, you want to start?
Quadrinity.
Let's give people a reason to carry on.
Yeah. So, at least through February.
Yeah.
We'll give you 6 things to do.
Escape hard into these things.
So something every 5 days. So why don't you start?
Me? Really? Okay.
Sure.
I'm just going to go chronologically.
Me too.
With mine. But also, this one is my perhaps raddest recommendation. I honestly would recommend this based on the title alone, but it could be fun. Dark Nuns, coming from director Kwon Hyuk-jae, in a limited run in theaters in February 7th. Now, this is a spin-off of the 2015 film The Priests, which I admittedly have not seen, but I'm going to now because I just found out that is directed by Jung Jae-hyun, who did last year's amazing Exuma, one of my favorites. Yeah.
Tops of the
He
year.
also did Svaha with Lee Jung-jae. So, anyway, he didn't do this. This is a spinoff, relatively new director. So, Dark Nuns. It's about Sister Junia and Sister Michaela, who try to save a possessed boy after, I guess, the priest that was supposed to do the exorcism, gets delayed or can't make it there in time. It's not made clear to me in the trailer, but they decide to do it even though ladies aren't supposed to do that kind of thing. And there's a conspiracy and church stuff. But what really...
Why aren't ladies supposed to do exorcisms?
Because they're nuns. They're not ordained priests.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I mean, real answer is some fucking...
ancient...
some dick in the Middle Ages wrote up rules because they had just invented beer.
Yeah.
So the reason I am interested in this is that South Korea produces, when they explore Christianity in their horror movies, first off, it's Christianity, which is relatively similar to me, but it's from an Asian perspective, a South Korean perspective, which is not my typical experience. And it's also so deeply mixed with and in conflict with the region's very ancient, deep history of shamanism. So, in this movie, there's a shaman, and I think the nuns maybe incorporate some of that, which is blasphemous, and there's a conflict with church rules. Anyway, it definitely looks like a B movie, but it looks like a lot of fun. I think it's already been released in South Korea, where it's made a lot of money and it's pretty successful. So why not? I mean, Dark Nuns sounds fucking great. It's got South Korea, shamanism, and rogue nuns on doing off book exorcisms.
Yeah, stuff that they've always wanted to do.
Hell yes, ladies.
Yeah.
Let's do it. So Dark Nuns, February 7th is my first recommendation. I'm all about, I've grown up loving Catholic horror movies because I was raised Catholic originally, and seeing that from a non-American or even a non-Italian Roman Catholic perspective is so cool to me.
Absolutely. Well, it's also been indoctrinated in other countries.
Well, there's always that.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Awesome.
Neat.
Well, my first recommendation is a book, and it's called The Bones Beneath My Skin.
Oh, that's ideally where you want your bones to be.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. It comes out February 4th. It's being dubbed a supernatural road trip thriller.
Okay.
And it's written by TJ Klune, who is kind of known for his more whimsical stories, a little bit YA.
Touch of whimsy.
But he's a very great writer, and really, I really love his book. He has the start of the first 2 books in the Cerulean Sea trilogy.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, the first is The House in the Cerulean Sea, and just recently, Somewhere Beyond the Sea came out. And he also has a book called Under the Whispering Door. So if you look at his book covers, they're very like whimsical. You can kind of tell what they're going to be about. Anyway, this is a little diversion from his YA magical, fun books.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to have a road trip thriller. So I'm just going to give a brief synopsis. In 1995, Nate Cartwright loses everything. His parents are dead. His older brother wants nothing to do with him, and he's been fired from his job as a journalist in Washington, D.C. So he decides to go to his family's summer cabin in Oregon, and he basically thinks it's going to be empty. But when he arrives, there's a guy named Alex there, and a really kind of precocious, extraordinary, special with gifts girl, 10-year-old named Artemis Darth Vader.
She brought gifts for everyone, or
no? She has gifts.
The girl with all the gifts.
Yeah, she's 10 and she calls herself Artemis Darth Vader.
Neat.
And so things aren't really like as they seem, of course, as in any thriller.
Hi, I'm Apollo Skywalker.
And Nate is kind of left to choose whether he's going to decide on moving forward or kind of figure out how to help, quote unquote, save this girl. So
now, which girl?
Artemis Darth Vader.
Thank you.
You just want me to say it?
I was confused for a second.
She calls herself that, so I think it's really fun.
Only respectful that we honor that.
Yeah. So
can you please stop dead naming Artemis Darth Vader?
TJ Klune has this tendency to write like in very common everyday life, people with really magical and mystical gifts that exist among us.
I love that. I do. That's a jam for me.
Yeah. So this is going to be very much prevalent in this book, and it's not a YA, so we'll see how things go. And I am going to read it no matter what. I like his writing.
Listen, YA is pretty dark.
Yeah. But this isn't a YA.
No, I'm just saying, a lot of authors do that. A lot of them use pen names to differentiate. Mm-hmm. But I don't think it's a knock against anything. No. I think it's quite a talent if you can write to 2 separate audiences like that. That's pretty extraordinary to me.
And it's going to touch on grief. It's going to touch on, studying children for, weaponization, I'm sure.
I mean, that is their primary use in society, I would say.
So The Bones Beneath My Skin.
Nice.
February
Excellent.
4th.
Oh, my goodness. Why don't we do one more and then take a break? I'll do one, then take a break. And
I don't think you need to tell the audience our process.
So
all that out.
Timeline, edit, and go.
So what's your next
My next one, oh gosh. Boy, seamless transitions into my next one, and it's called The Engorge. Nope, sorry. Oh. Excuse me. Sorry.
No.
Sorry. It's not. It's called The Gorge.
Oh, God.
Now that is...
Did you make that mistake on purpose?
No. So it was a Freudian slip of the gorge. I had this is being directed by Scott Derrickson, who we love here at Terror in Tandem. He's done such things as the Black Phone. And the
Black Phone 2 is coming out.
Yeah. Doctor Strange he's also done. And one of the Hellraisers. But also Exorcism of Emily Rose. Pretty good movie. So anyway, The Gorge is coming out on Valentine's Day, February 14th. It's.
I think you need to start over. You said The Gorge is coming out.
I did not.
You did.
No.
Listen to it back. No,
audience,
just please listen.
Audience, if you have an opinion on this, please feel free to.
His engorged ego is coming out.
Please feel free to call in. Our lines are open. We will be receiving
Sleeping by.
I look forward to being vindicated. Anyway, so The Gorge. Coming out on Valentine's Day on Apple TV Plus, if that's what it's called now, right? So Anya Taylor-Joy plays a Lithuanian sniper, and Miles Teller plays an American sniper, and they are both positioned in outposts on either side of a huge gorge, and they're told that your mission is to stop anything from coming out of the gorge, and you are not allowed to communicate with the person on the other side.
In any way.
In any way at all. So the thing is about the gorge is it's actually the gate to hell. So keeping like demons and monsters inside the gorge is their job. Obviously, they're there for a year. They're alone. So they start to communicate across this distance, and they symbols and like written things with binoculars, and they play chess with each other, and it's very like it's supposed to be kind of a romance. And then I guess Miles Teller falls in the gorge, and she goes and jumps in after them, and all hell breaks loose.
Literally.
Now, I know I'm sounding a little silly about this, but it's a Scott Derrickson movie. Anya Taylor-Joy and Miles Teller, both very talented. I love, snipers keeping monsters in a hellmouth. That sounds great. Falling in love in the process. Cool, quirky, and weird. It's just, I don't know. There are a couple.
The trailer's bad.
The trailer's not very good. The movie's only rated PG-13, and it's being released on streaming, which I know doesn't mean what it used to mean.
But there's not going to be any like visual engorging.
I'm just. There's something about it that makes me a little hesitant, but I'm telling you, like, on paper, all the elements are there for a really fun action, romance, horror movie, adventure, whatever it is. I love the cast. I'd love to see them shooting demons. That sounds neat. And I like the idea of kind of going 90s with it, of like, yeah, this is a hellmouth and monsters come out. Like, that's a very, low concept idea that is like, very refreshing to me. I like that. So I'm really rooting for it. I am a little.
Like they should have more than 2 outposts.
I'm sure that'll be addressed because from the trailer it looks like a real big fucking gorge. Mm-hmm. And I also think they'll probably address why you just have one sniper on either side instead of like a full army or something. But that'll just have to wait. So The Gorge comes out on Apple TV, Valentine's Day, maybe a little date movie for, weirdos who like romance, but really prefer if that is mixed in with some like demon hunting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen,
which is us.
Like for both people.
Oh, Sigourney Weaver's in this one too, which is, that's another tick in the plus column for me.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I'm rooting for you, Gorge. I am.
I'm sure you are. Trailer's terrible.
But you know what? So many of them are.
Yes.
There's been a real drop in quality. Trailers these days.
When you said there's something that is like, I don't know if this is going to be good or not, it's because the trailer's so bad. Kind
of. Yeah. And that's a disservice because maybe this is great. And I really, really hope that I get to watch this movie and come back on the pod and say, it really was great. That's what I want to do.
Of course.
So anyway, The Gorge. Check it out.
Why don't we take a quick break?
Oh, thank God. I'm so tired. I'm so tired of holding all this up. Please.
Are you over the 50 Shades of Dull? Looking for a way to spice up more than just your sex life? Introducing H.H. Holmes' Home Dungeon Design, where we take the kink out of the clink. With H.H. Holmes' discreet and silent design team, we transform your once tantalizing sex dungeon into a terrifying, dungeon. If you've already satisfied your craving for masochism, why not redesign your space for maximum sadism? We will reimagine your space to allow for all of your darkest plans to come to life. Don't have a sex room to convert? Don't worry, we love a blank slate. With our 3D specs, we can show you all the horrors, nightmares, and tortures you can create with just a few modifications to your space. Need drainage? We have the latest drainage grading and high-flow power technology used by the military to clean their most stubborn messes. So make that call. from the last payphone in your town and engage with one of our talented dungeon designers today. This is a fake ad for a fake product on a horror-themed podcast. We do not endorse nor condone kidnapping, torture, or murder, no matter how bougie your kill room is.
Welcome back, and I feel like I should explain my previous comment of holding this thing up. You see, not to take you too much behind the scenes, but I stand on one foot on a very, very, very small surface, a pole, really, and I balance all of the equipment for the entirety of the podcast.
But no one has asked him to. We have a table, we have chairs.
Oh, that is true. No one actually, it's the opposite. People have asked me many times to stop doing this.
It's not necessary to,
I'm just trying to
yourself.
Just trying to see gains.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get yoked.
Well, this isn't the way.
I'm trying to get
sit back down?
Trying to get gorged.
Oh boy.
So
that I can get engorged.
It's your turn for recommending.
Thank you. So my next recommendation is coming out February 7th in time for Valentine's Day, and this is a romantic horror.
Oh. Nice.
A romantic horror comedy, which we kind of like here. So it's called Heart Eyes. Coming out February 7th, directed by Josh Rubin.
Great.
Need I say more?
Yep, I hope you do.
About Josh Rubin?
What has he done?
He sounds really sure.
Okay. Geez. Why don't you just go and make your recommendations and let's look up who Mr. Rubin is.
I don't think it was really relevant to what I'm going to talk about. But so this is what I took away from these trailers is this is a very...
Oh, he did the very, very fun Werewolves Within from a couple years ago.
Okay.
So, apologies, Mr. Rubin.
No, just great. This is a very in the moment slasher film. That's kind of what I'm gathering from it. The Heart Eyes killer has been terrorizing couples for the last few years, every Valentine's Day in Seattle. And we have our main character who's a marketing, she's in her 20s and she's a marketing exec. She might just be a marketing assistant.
I love that.
She's responsible for marketing. And it's played by Olivia Holt, who was in Totally Killer from last year.
Right.
The 80s time travel horror comedy, which was really fun. Anyway, Olivia plays Allie. She has kind of a meet cute with somebody. She hasn't gotten over her ex. She stalks him online. And then all sorts of terrible things start to happen in her personal life. She doesn't do well at work. She finds out that her ex is dating someone else. It's Valentine's Day. She goes out on a date with this guy she met and finds out that the Heart Eyes killer followed her home.
Ruh-roh.
And
they call him that because he's got a weird, cool mask with hearts for eyes that glow.
And he goes after couples. He goes after couples on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, but legit, the mask...
It's pretty
kind of
good.
works.
Listen, it's really hard. This is what
it's a little silly, but it's also kind of menacing.
It's hard to come up with a new mask or a new killer slasher in the genre, So I think this has got a good chance. Again, it's got that comedy, romance, horror aspect. It's going to be one of those down and dirty, heart-pounding slashers of lots of red herrings, lots of people, lots of
also
high body count.
Terran Tandem favorite Devon Sawa.
Yep.
And Mason Gooding from the recent Scream films, who is one of the few returning for Scream 7.
He's the guy that she has the meet cute with.
Oh, okay.
It also has Michaela Watkins, who plays her boss.
Really?
And she's a character actress. And
I know who she is. She's always great. Yeah.
She's always that kind of dry, droll, hilarious.
Yeah, she's legit very funny. And one of the writers on this, Christopher Landon, our very dear Christopher Landon.
Yeah. So I think it has a good shot. The detectives are described as bumbling, headed by Jordana
So,
Brewster,
just detectives.
and Devin Sawa.
Sawa.
So those are the bumbling detectives that are trying to get the Hard Eyes killer. So I mean,
we're talking like
really
early 2000s heartthrobs coming back and playing mom and dad roles. It's great.
I think this is like, don't take it too seriously. Have super fun on Valentine's
It's a
Day.
lot of what our recommendations are this month is like, these are B movies. Have fun, enjoy, turn your brain. We all watch The Substance and we're all traumatized from it. So let's just relax, watch Hard Eyes and Dark Nuns and just be like, yay.
Yeah. So Hard Eyes comes out right before, a week before February 7th.
Take your special someone.
Or before. You don't have to have a Valentine's date.
Take your unspecial someone. Take
Go
your
by yourself.
completely mediocre, banal
if you're single,
person.
This seems like a perfect movie for being single because they're killing
Go
couples.
on a blind date.
Or if you're single, they're killing couples.
I'm just saying, no, like show up on a date and go home by yourself.
Oh, well.
Know what I'm saying?
We don't not endorse or support any violence.
Oh, no, I just meant complete, like, abject, humiliating rejection, and then you go home alone and you're crying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Murder. Me. One last one from your old pal me. I've got the one that I'm looking forward to the most. This is the big one. This is the one that when I first saw the bonkers Red Band trailer for, I was like, wait, what? Where did this come from? Yeah, that's right. It's The Monkey. Coming at you from director.
Welcome.
Thank you very much for letting me do this. From director Osgood Perkins, or Oz, wherever he goes. Coming to theaters February. February 21st. Hell to the fuck yeah. We're getting another Oz Perkins movie like a half year after Longlegs. That is such a treat. Thank you. Thank you, Neon. Thank you, Mr. Perkins. Thank you, Universe. So this is based on the short story from 1980, which actually was collected in 1985's Skeleton Crew from, yes, aforementioned amazing old guy Stephen King. Now it's about, basically a guy or two brothers. I haven't read the story in forever. They've got, they find...
It's basically like a monkey that does bad business.
But it's like one of those like monkeys that you wind up and it's got cymbals and it goes ting,
clap,
ting, ting.
clap,
Yeah.
clap.
And so it brings like death and destruction. And by the end of the short story, they're like, trying to throw it out into the middle of Castle Rock Lake. So the movie looks bananas. It looks like...
It's definitely a lot of blood.
It leans very heavily into the Grand Guignol horror comedy of it, where it's very over-the-top violent, but also like really bleak and funny. And if you have that sensibility, which Terror in Tandem basically runs on, of, black humor, of like dark gallows humor. So Theo James, love Theo James, is playing dual roles in this.
Wow, I love Theo James.
He's awesome. Listen, Castlevania Season 1, he does a lot of really good voice acting. He was in The Witcher animated. Like, I really like Theo James. So he plays twins, Hal and Bill, who as children find this cursed monkey, and then once they realize like it is murdering and killing people, they try to get rid of it, and then they become kind of estranged. Then the monkey comes back into their lives as adults, so they've got to patch things up as it starts to wreak havoc. Oh, it's also starring in very weird, crazy roles. I'm guessing Elijah Wood and Tatiana Maslany, who are just fucking great and automatic watches for anything, the two of them. Love to see this kind of talent in an Oz Perkins movie. And also, I've watched all of Oz Perkins' movies as a director. As an actor, he's been in a bunch of comedies. As a director...
And he was in...
Legally Blonde. Yeah. Now, as a director, his movies are bleak. The Blackcoat's Daughter, Longlegs, they are not funny. So I'm really looking forward to, because I think somebody who plays around in the darkness so much is capable of also being very, very funny in a dark way. So those two worlds intermingle sometimes to the point of being indistinguishable. They say that tragedy plus time equals comedy.
Yeah.
So Stephen King has seen this and said, it's bonkers and you're not ready for it and all that. I'm ready. I can't wait. I love Oz Perkins. I think his mind and his visual eye is just extraordinary, and his slow pacing and steady unraveling. Recently, his movies have become, I think, a bit more bombastic in a way, which he's also doing really well. I think every once in a while there's a talent.
He's getting to do what he wants to do.
I think that's what we're seeing now. Is we're seeing him get budgets, and he's got this lovely partnership with Neon, who seem to be very supportive of him.
And
so
he's the dad of the legendary Anthony Perkins,
the son.
Yeah. His dad.
His dad was Norman Bates. Anyway, I know I'm obsessing over Oz Perkins a little bit, but it's just I've become very sensitive lately to the homogenization of my beloved American cinema. So every once in a while, when there's somebody like Robert Eggers, Oz Perkins, Ari Aster, who show me, Panos Cosmatos, show me something bold and different and unique. Coralie Fargeet, that is the stuff I'm really clinging on to, and I just can't wait to see Oz unleashed. It really looks like he's going nuts in this movie, and it looks hilarious.
Yeah, it looks great. Very much
for weirdos
to it.
like us.
Yeah.
Take your mom.
And that comes out when? Valentine's Day
it
again?
It comes out, on February 21st. So listen, we've got something for you to do every weekend.
Pretty much. And that, which you can't get to because a bunch of stuff comes out on Valentine's Day, save it for the last weekend.
Exactly.
So my last recommendation is a book. No, it's a TV show. Sorry, I already did my book.
Easy to get those two mixed up.
It's a TV show, and it is a third season of a returning show, Yellow Jackets. So, Yellow Jackets season 3. I'm not sure if this is the last. It seems like it's going to be the last.
I think everyone's getting too famous now to keep coming back to do the show.
Well, in the younger version of the people, they were only on the island for 19 months.
Yeah, so now they're all 35 years old.
Yeah.
It's like the Stranger Things kids are joining the AARP at this point.
Euphoria, I don't think we're going to see another season. They're way too old.
I think the talk is they're going to do a huge time jump.
Yeah, they have to.
Yeah.
There's the only way to save it. Anyway, starring Melanie Linsky, Christina Ricci, and Elijah Wood is returning from his character in season 2.
What a cast.
And also joining this year is Hilary Swank and Joe McHale.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So last season, just to catch you up, spoiler if you haven't gotten to it.
Spoiler!
Gave lots of insight on what happened in the islands and why the ritualistic cannibalism and the crowning of the Antler Queen was fleshed out.
I'm sorry.
No pun intended. Cannibalism.
Are there people that need a reason for that? That's not just self-evident why you would do that? It's rad.
And then last season ended with Nat's accidental death, and everybody was sad because,
I was devastated.
Juliette Lewis, they loved her. She's dead now. So she's not coming back.
Bummer.
Only in flashbacks.
Yeah, okay.
So what can we
This
expect?
is all of my 90s crushes.
I know. Well, Christina Ricci is in it.
Yeah, I'm aware.
A nutter in this show.
That's fine.
She doesn't even. You know how you
let me put that aside. My childish crush on Christina Ricci in the 90s was not because she was a normal chill gal.
Yeah, I know.
So you telling me that is only making it worse.
This is her craziest role to date, I would think. She even played Lizzie Borden, and I think she's crazier in this show.
Amazing.
So what can we expect from season 3? They always keep it kind of tight because it hasn't come out yet. It looks like there's going to be a race for present day adults who survive the island trying to kill each other before they get killed, because that's the whole premise, is someone is trying to kill them, and it's someone from the island or someone connected, because everybody else is dead.
And it's Peter Thiel.
And they can't trust each other, so Expect more island flashbacks and then more descent into madness for the adult characters.
Quick side.
Yes.
Why don't we ascend into madness?
Because
it just shows, I think, a real societal bias towards like being normal.
Yeah.
Like going insane is something that we descend to. I mean, I should be so lucky.
Self-actualization is on the...
I hate being this conscious and aware of things. I can't wait until I go full disassociative. Oh. My God, it's going to be such a relief. Anyway.
Apologies to everybody for really bringing you down.
Am I here?
So the first 2 episodes come out on Valentine's Day, and then each episode will drop weekly. And I believe there are a total of 12 episodes. So
nice.
Expect the first 2 on Valentine's Day and then 1 week after that. This is on Paramount Plus Showtime companion.
For Valentine's Day, watch ladies eat each other, but not like that. We're getting some calls now. Yeah, wow, the phone is really lighting up.
So enjoy all of what we've recommended for the month.
Oh, happy February, everybody.
Happy February. Shortest month, coldest month.
Real Hugo with
it,
y'all.
It's not the darkest month.
Well, it feels...
It's not the darkest month. We're getting more and more daylight as each day passes. So
and we're getting more and more Hugo with each snuggle.
We are. And so we gave you lots to do and read and watch, and we hope you enjoy it all.
And enjoy, and see you next week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Terror in Tandem is written, produced, and recorded by Laura and Richard Mathiasen, and edited and mixed by Richard Mathiasen. Our theme was written and performed by Carrie Denver, and all other music was written and performed by David Suspanic. All opinions expressed on this podcast are our own and should be taken as such. Thanks for listening, and please remember to give us a like, a review, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. See you next time.